Good afternoon and welcome to Tallinn Technical University to our information hour. This is the second one. The first one took place 3 weeks ago, and we are again sitting here with members of the Rector's Office. We are comfortable here in our festival on the stage. I'm not going to introduce ourselves. If some of us has changed his or her identity or name, he can tell us himself. But first of all, I would like to invite not only the members of the Rector's Office, but first and foremost, those hundreds and hundreds of staff members and students who have helped, thought along, and contributed to the development of the new strategy document. When we met 3 weeks ago, the first version was on our table, and now we have the second version, which hopefully will be as close to the final one as possible. Some cosmetic amendments are welcome, but in the main, I hope we have agreed about the contents. So what has happened during these 3 weeks? As I said, hundreds of people participated in the drafting of the strategy document. There were 2 bigger events, 2 seminars. One was our development seminar, and the other one was a joint seminar with our council and senate. And I would also like to point out, before I give the floor to my good colleagues and friends who represent their fields. First of all, I would like to point out some thoughts from those meetings that have taken place in the meanwhile. The central idea that has run through is quality. We are talking about quality in both research, teaching context, research-based teaching with value teaching, and the seminar. There was an excited discussion whether professors should actually be in front of students or whether professors should not be wasted and students do manage themselves. But the bottom line was that professors should participate in teaching. And when we talk about research-based teaching, then professors should be involved in master's level teaching. But I would like to invite all professors to go and stand in front of bachelor's level students, because bachelor's level students should also be able to see professors. That could be motivating in terms of quality, study, and Maria hopefully will also mention the quality of research, and this is again an entrepreneurial project. Their quality is very important, more than their quantity. And in this new version, or volume 2, which I have in front of me, and all employees were sent it also. And we are starting with the mission and vision of the university. We have slightly updated the mission to make it a little bit more ambitious, a little bit more clear, hopefully, and we have the opportunity to discuss that. But I believe that we have reached the point, we are closer to the mission, and we have defined it the way we want to see it. And there is also an important date in this second version. I'm not going to tell it now. I will say it with a big bang and some fireworks. But before I give the floor to Maria, a few words about our timetable. Today we have our second big information hour, And this is to be followed by students, information hour and meeting with students on the 14th of December, the 11th of January. There's a meeting with alumni, and also we are inviting you to actively participate in the essay competition. Invite your friends and colleagues. There are actually 2 essay competitions. The deadline is the 3rd of January. A big essay is the first category, University Without Borders, and secondly, idea competition. What would make TalTech even a better and a cooler university? So I would invite everybody to take part himself and also spread the word among friends and family. On the 21st of January, we are planning to have our development conference together with our partners from Estonia and Europe. And here I would like to emphasize that we are talking about our strategy document, but this strategy document is for Estonia, and we also want to contribute outside Estonia, and hopefully, and I also believe that the strategy document will be approved by the Council on the 19th of February, so we can celebrate our Independence Day. And the implementation plan will be ready by March 2021. And here we'd like to give the floor to Maria Kruusma. Quality, quality, quality. Thank you, Tiit. Also, I would like to thank everybody, our staff, our students, doctor students, lecturers, teachers who have helped me to improve or better this new version. The feedback has been plenty, and I've received a lot of good ideas, and I have tried to streamline those ideas. If you can't recognize your ideas, then maybe they have changed their form slightly, but in fact they should be there somewhere. The previous version, in terms of the part that concerns research, there aren't many changes, but the text is more, let's say, concise. So we are being more specific as to our activities, because we need to prepare also our implementation plan, and there we need to put down very specific activities, and also we will have measurable indicators on the basis of which we can say whether we have improved or not. And these measurable indicators, they are still a bit open, because once this new strategy document is in the forum and its English translation is available, then I would like to ask and to help us to think along about those measurable indicators. Tiit, should we talk about quality? Well, Tiit, maybe a little bit later, because you have said a lot about it. But I would like to still emphasize why is it so important, because this is the foundation for everything else that we want to improve in the university. Since we are a research university and we do really good research, then this also provides a basis for the implementation of science. And Sven is going to go into more detail as to what exactly we need to do so that the results of research will end up in practical work. As you can see, this high-quality research is a starting point. We all know that our university has problems with the efficiency of doctorate studies and its level. We understand that good doctorate students come from good researchers. In order to have better doctors, we also need to have better research and scientists to supervise them. Here again, we can solve two problems at one go. Our main issue that also comes out from our chats and fora is we don't have enough money. And Tauno even didn't take the piggy bank with him. He says that the piggy bank is in a safe place. But how can we get more money into the piggy bank? One way would be to write better applications for science projects. Of course, we can write better applications if we are ourselves better researchers, and then the likelihood that our applications are accepted increases. Also, our university ranking and our image is pointed out as problematic. So how can we improve our image? We need better results. Also, results that are internationally voiced, that we are recognized and we are acknowledged. And if we have problems that our best student candidates choose other universities abroad, and why is that so? Maybe we do not meet their expectations and ambitions. If we have high-level research, we study, and if it's all transparent, then we will be able to get also better students here. But on this backdrop, there is another important topic, the coherence of all these themes. There is no use of good research unless it reaches practical outcomes. Research and development, innovation, they should be combined. Dietz already mentioned research-based studies. This is important that professors also teach, and Dietz himself teaches. Yes, I do, says Rector Lund. Yes, professors also teach at bachelor's level. And again, through students, people reach labor markets, and if people have better skills, so we can contribute to the society better. If we consolidate research groups between ourselves, we can put a big mass behind our important topics and have really broad-based results. So coherence between work groups, research and development, research and learning, these are all very important topics. The last thing that I would like to point out is that we have paid separate attention to young researchers. In the framework of doctorate students, young students, or also students who already have their PhD but who are seeking an opportunity to get into this academic world, we want to give a perspective to these young people. If they are capable, if they wish to contribute, they want to remain here. But even if they don't want to remain here, they have other ambitions. We want to give them the best possible skills so that they can also manage outside this academic world. Thank you, Maria. But let's ask Hendrik a question together. Hendrik, are you teaching? And how do you take a professor by his hand and drag him to the classroom? Well, I believe that lecturers are crazy people, and people come to the university not to become a multimillionaire, but you have this calling, you want to contribute, and this is something that each lecturer and professor should have in his subconsciousness, that learning and teaching is one way of expressing research. I don't think that we need to take anybody by his hand and drag him. Well, you're a big man, you can take him into your arms and carry the person. But this is a matter for the implementation plan. Let's stick to the strategic document. But I would like to start with some good news. Today, the Ministry of Education and Research sent out an overview of activity indicators from last year, and it's good to note that the nominal graduates share has reached 50%. So I would like to, well, thank you. That's a very good result. If more professors go to teach in front of classrooms, I think this percentage will even increase. Is it a statistic thing, or it is a real thing? Well, we were able to convince the minister, maybe, but I think this is only the beginning, because our aim is 60%, and I think that 60 will even be exceeded, because Tallinn Technical University finds more and more talented students, and students find us. And there are several activities planned. A new state-owned high school will be planned, and this will be integrated with our campus research and creativity school, which will also be financed. And we are going to deal with talented and really good children who are interested in our focus areas. And a new thing from this year is that to the best of the best, the winners of international Olympiads, the winners of the first, second, or third prize, we are going to pay a scholarship, a monthly scholarship, so we can attract the best of the best. So if our students are very good, our lecturers should also get better. And we hope to get professors also in front of the classroom. One thing why they haven't done it so far is a lack of motivation. So we try to make sure that everybody is motivated, and we also are reviewing the career path of academic staff, and we're also reviewing the workload of our academic staff. When we have this state-owned high school ready, then the work should also include the share that they have in that high school. This high school does not mean this one school in our vicinity, but we are cooperating with many schools, for example, Tabasalu School and Kuressaare High School and East Virumaa Kohtla-Järve High School. And if the lecturers wish to develop, they must have this ability for professional development. This has to be field-based. We want to create didactic centers so that those who want to improve, that they have this opportunity. We are not forcing anything on people, but we hope that people get excited, that people want to get even better and better. We want to make the study more science-based, and I think this coincides with the visions of the rector and the vice-rector. Each main subject should have one professor teaching. We have 129 main subjects, but we also wish that our studies are also practical. We don't want to take a step back, but instead a step ahead. We want to start with industrial masters and industrial bachelor's studies, so that we have even tighter contact with industry. Our ambitions are high. Entrepreneurial study. This has been integrated into our subjects. We want to increase the share of projects and problem-based studies to make the studying even more versatile, and we want to introduce even more flexibility, to increase the number of MOOCs. This is something that Eurotech is also expecting from us. We need to do this because we wish to cooperate with Eurotech network as much as possible, and such flexible study is undoubtedly important. But all these items that I mentioned, then there's a strategy document development groups, 10 of them, and implementation group. Everybody can contribute. They are still open. And with this, I would like to end. And if you have questions, then please go ahead. Thank you. And let's move on to Sven, Entrepreneurial University. Thank you. Having listened to the rector and the vice rector and the vice rector responsible for academic affairs, then the tendency is that all members of the rectorate should teach. It's very difficult to become a professor, but perhaps to give a lecture is a possibility. And I have received an offer to give a lecture. Very good. In June. Yeah, on the 24th of June. Actually, I was invited to the summer school of doctors. Well, Sven, actually, I am ahead of you because in September, in the beginning of September, the first week, I was invited to interior climate students to make an introductory lecture into the subject. Josep, Tauno, Sven. So, well, yes, we all have had experience. So we are competitors. Tauno has to go to the bank and open another bank account. Anyway, Sven, please. Our entrepreneurship work group formulated the core of an entrepreneurial university. And the first area is research, development, services to Estonian companies and also to foreign companies. And having visited departments, it turned out that each of them sees the next year's plans, or very important emphasis is put on entrepreneurial activities. Secondly, an entrepreneurial university is also a university that transfers research results through startups into the society. And we have already seen some first results. 5 to 10 work groups have approached to Technical Transfer Center to discuss the possibilities of starting their own company or to give their own experience through a license to some company. And I hope that we will see significant activization of such activities. But thirdly, and I believe this is the biggest opportunity for the university to contribute to Estonian economy and also global economy, is through our alumni. And as Henry already said, Tallinn Technical University has very good entrepreneurial studies, but let's see what else we can offer, and to favor such entrepreneurial approach and to give those principles to our alumni. But I also thought that I would like to revise my thoughts 3 times. There's another repetition. We need to increase the volume and quality of entrepreneurial contracts. We need to actively license and set up startups and support entrepreneurship. Some ideas that have been formulated in discussions. lead that we need to improve our support structure. We have professionals who know how to support researchers, scientists, but also we need IT systems that facilitate the flow of information. It seems maybe that these are technical things, but actually they are the things that improve our structures. In new big state development plans which have been approved or are going to be approved, then universities are expected to open their infrastructure to businesses. Yes, we do plan to further develop our labs. Intellectual property, the defense of it, and commercialization. The most important thing is that we offer our scientists clarity and support in the commercialization of their work. Talking about startups, then we are seriously considering to have holdings. There are discussions ongoing in order to simplify participation in startups. The third is to support business studies continuously. This study is present at all levels, but we should see how to improve it. Also, project-based studies. It is important to see how to improve incubation services to student companies and to startups that are going to crop up from the university. Those specific programs are being developed, and there are also some ideas that you can see on the slide. These also link with this prior or preliminary incubation. And this, by and large, would be all from me. I would also like to thank everybody who has sent their ideas, have participated in work groups. Also, after the previous information hour, we received feedback. I received feedback and support to many ideas. Positive feedback concerned labs and startups. I would like to thank you. It is really good to feel support. Thank you. And questions are also welcome. And yours, the floor is yours. Support services. Good afternoon. I would like to start with this. Let's imagine how we would like to see the university in 5, 10, 15 years' time. And if we visualize this, then I hope that everybody is based on his own experience, previous activities, and those visions are very different. This is also evident from our discussions, but at the same time, it is possible to gather joint ideas or joint traits that can be expanded on. Probably we're all interested in working in a university where there are user-friendly environments, where all the services are smooth, all the chains are smooth without any hiccups, and that we all understand what we receive with these services. Or in other words, we need to agree those support services and their standards. And support services should not follow from the needs of the present day, but they should look into the future. If these pillars and questions are continuously in the strategic document and our expectations are that we follow the path, then these expectations are really strong. Naturally, these good ideas and words are based on very concrete activities, and these activities will be set out in the implementation plan. In addition to our discussions, some formulations are changed, but there is a clear expectation that digital developments should receive more attention, more importance. If I had to point out two main topics these are climate smartness, TalTech 2035, that Aivar is going to talk about, and secondly, TalTech digital initiative continuation. In a few words, I would like to talk about TalTech and digital, what our next steps are. We have been focusing on setting up the foundation, create platforms, and maybe the users don't see it very much, but our next steps are to utilize and benefit from this. And everything that technology does better than a human being should be in the remit of the technology. And those things that a person does better, then we leave it to humans. And one of the best, our university is one of the best digitalized universities. However, what do you have up your sleeve? There will be a picture. Now, this morning, when I was eating my porridge, you all eat porridge, well, oatmeal, but I was eating rice porridge at 6. So I was chasing the porridge with my spoon, and the other hand was grabbing my phone. And then I spotted an email that had arrived at night, and the message actually astonished me. A few weeks ago we met here, and with some of you we met also in Laulasmaa. There we talked about our future vision, and we also covered several topics of which some of them received a lot of attention. I would separately point out our resources, or the use of our resources and facilities, or let's say cross-usage. In private sector it is called sharing economy, and this mail that I noticed this morning was exactly about that. One member of our staff, a colleague, had taken our talk from last year. He had taken this talk really seriously, and he had discussed the topic with the director of the department. They said that the rooms are very well equipped, and they thought that these rooms are available and they can give them away for others to use. And I think that this is the first step on this path. So our messages actually are taking root. So our messages are heard by other structural units, and those units who have a shortage of space or rooms can then use somebody else's room. So physical environment and campus. That's the headline of the picture. In order to achieve all this, we need a vision. And with this real estate and campus development, we have divided the campus into parts. And in our vision documents, it forms a very small part of our long-term view. But what I would like to emphasize here is that the physical environment of the university is not only the campus in Uuendame. We also have our regional campuses. Another important aspect is that we need to create those environments so that it would be comfortable here today, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and so on. Moving on from the vision, we always tend to dream, and there's a crazy thing about dreams, that there are safe dreams and unsafe dreams. A safe dream is that, well, which never comes true. Well, I want to become a Superman, a safe dream, safe bet. But an unsafe dream equals an aim. And to set the aims, we have thought that we should be more specific. And all these 5 bullet points that you can see here are somehow indicators. Indicator is not a very good word, but still, if you try to think along with me, then the indicator should be, there are 2 kinds of indicators. Result indicators, so what sort of results are we expecting at moment X? The first 2 questions, services and processes, satisfied users, we have to be able to assess them somehow. Satisfaction study says that our university family is satisfied with the services 97%, 99%, oh, whatever percentage. That's a very clear indicator. But in order to reach those aims, I have taken to use the term prognosis indicator. It's like a map that enables us to follow the path, to see whether we are actually doing these activities in order to get closer to the aim. If our aim is to get a certain percentage, then the first indicator is that we should define it, and so on and so forth. Sustainable balanced development. What is that? The same use of facilities. Today we are trying to understand how much is using the space, our rooms, and then we need to agree between ourselves. Then climate smartness, climate neutrality or carbon neutral university. The aim is 2035. Tallinn University should be carbon neutral. I don't know if there are any universities or companies who have loudly said that and has put that out on paper as well. Well, not an Estonian university, but a Scandinavian university. I am a member of the Council of Stockholm University. They had a meeting on Friday. Maybe they are reading my mails, but a similar workroom there is doing similar work than we are. But at the moment, their aim is 2040, a very ambitious goal. But if we want to move faster, then that's good. Indeed, climate neutrality and climate smartness. A lot of work has gone into it. We have had several work groups and subgroups, so that everybody who is following us and who is interested in this topic, then you are very welcome to contribute. One more public, this is a concept of an aware client or orderer. This is an uncomfortable topic because I have the courage to say that as orderers, as fillers, or as providers of the order, we need to improve, because whenever we have agreements, then we don't actually define our needs. Even if it's defined, then we don't put it on paper. And the second problem is that we don't agree as an orderer or as service provider the manner of business transaction. Even if we have agreed, we don't stick to the agreement. And with real estate and administration, we wish to contribute really so that we would be better clients, orderers to our construction companies, and that we are also better service providers inside our university. And that's all from me. Tiit, have you noticed that the council's room in the rector's office is often empty? Well, maybe that should also be given into cross-use, or maybe to this state-owned high school, or maybe we share it with the management of the hospital nearby. Another thing that's occurred, if we talk about money, then I guessed it. What's the surprise? I brought with me a money tree. This is a money tree. It has a Latin term as well, and I will give this money tree to Tauno. It's a green money tree, and the increase should be 20 million per year. So please take care of the plants. Add fertilizers. Well, I think I am now in the air, and how much tax is on the tree. I will calculate that later. In the beginning, we started to compete as to how many of us are actually giving lectures. A few years have passed, but I have actually lectured military logistics here. So thank you for reminding me. I will hash it up and I will lecture again. Maybe to start with, it is good to know for you what has been left out from the strategic document, but in a longer perspective, as the rector has invited, we should not focus on 5 years, but we should take a longer perspective. So the following strategic documents maybe will include some of the topics that have been left out for the time being. For example, that we should perhaps go to stock exchange. Now, this idea has not been included, but you never know. Maybe in the future that could be in a positive. Gunnar Piha. Gunnar, thank you. You are the colleague who has encouraged us all to take even more ambitious aims, both numerically, both in terms of money. This aim is not included in the plan together, but why not? Why can't we grow to be the biggest university in the university? Our budget should grow so much that we will become #1. In 5 years' time, well, not so feasible, but in a longer perspective, why not? So these are the plans that we have up our sleeves. Well, let's come back to the present document. I would like to read out, Maria, if you let me. I'd like to read out, we support sustainable, responsible, high-level scientific work groups that contribute significantly to teaching and serving the society. And for this, we need to develop our internal financing model. And over the past weeks, we have been dealing with this topic very seriously. I have here on my knees perhaps not a new financial regulation, but let's say a start or a beginning of it through meetings in autumn. We have gathered a number of questions that need answers. There are 16 topics. I'm not going to read them out, but I'll maybe give you just some examples. Research and development, 10-year thing, grant fund. For some reason I was given only 3 minutes, so I would like to ask an extra minute. General expenditure. This is not even a matter of financial regulation, but again, these are the topics that we are seriously dealing with, and I hope that the new financial regulation will be ready early next spring. Thank you. We have 15 minutes left, and it's time for questions. Yes, we are going to answer questions. The strategy says that our family sticks together and they support the professional development. So the question is, are students also part of the family? Well, yes, the formulation, the wording should be changed because the family includes both staff and students. What has been meant? High academic culture and science-based approach and practical approach to implement things. I think this is our slogan, Mente et Manu. If we have high academic culture in the university, then also in case we have differences of opinion, this is also good, in fact, because we need to have very different opinions or various opinions, and the key here is that we can solve these differences of opinion so that they lead to new ideas and that we can move forward and start implementing these ideas. But maybe we can adjust the wording. But maybe not. Maybe we should leave it in a way that there is room for interpretation. Why not? I believe that our family, our academic family, is clever enough to think about what the actual meaning is. Any other questions? Development plan, TalTech trademark. The second version does not have it. Well, to introduce the topic, TalTech trademark or the use or was discussed for quite some time in the joint seminar of the Senate and the Council, and there were different opinions. Some were in favor that it should be included, and maybe that should be also our separate strategic aim. Some said that this is not a matter of strategic planning. We can also ask whether it is a topic that has the same category as the quality of research. Perhaps as a summary of that seminar, it is like this. I had this feeling that the members of the council, or the majority of them, thought that the trademark is not a matter of our strategy document, but its development is the topic of the implementation plan, and it will be included there. The trademark topic should be developed further, but if there are different opinions and they are founded, then again the strategic document is still being discussed. Maybe, yeah, Still, we can discuss it. The next question, how to integrate students into study work who work full-time? There are many of them, and for whom work is more important than participation in lectures. So is it working next to studying or studying next to working? We have an open university as well, where you can regulate your study speed. And starting from this academic year, you can also transfer subjects, this VÕTA system, and people are using it more actively. And thirdly, all lectures, all subjects should be recorded and they are uploaded in Moodle. And fourthly, we have seriously taken up this topic of MOOCs. Or for this year, we have 200,000 euro to create new MOOCs, so money is not a problem here. And since if this turns out to be very popular, then we will find more funds for it. How many students do we have who work full-time? We have 10,000 students altogether, 2,000 work part-time, and 7,000 full-time. Well, also I have experience working and studying. Recording lectures is a very good practice. I managed to pass my master's students that I could choose when I watched the lecture. I think IT college is a very good example. All lectures are automatically recorded. If you don't want to record it for some reason, you press a button and you don't record. So this is the capability that we want to develop here so that it will become a common practice. Next, career system plans to support academic staff. Very good. But how do you plan to support support services, support staff? Maarja, how would you motivate your, let's say, back office? Certainly, this career system in our strategic document is mentioned, but it is in the context of academic career. And I think it is very good that not all fields have kind of military ranking system, kind of a pyramid system that you can take it more easy. As a comment, I also believe it is important that this academic career model has also horizontal career opportunities. I think it is important. Not everybody wants to go to the top. Some people just want to do their jobs very well. And I believe this support personnel motivation is also a topic that does not need too much structures. So how do I motivate my back office? Some people are motivated so that they have freedom to make decisions, they have freedom to implement their ideas, and therefore my back office, I'm very happy with them, and there are ideas that I can use and that can be developed further. So again, support staff can also rise, so from specialist to lead specialist to head of department and so on. And this is all here. But Josep, what about you? Actually, we have discussed it a little bit, and the expectations are there also. Maarja already mentioned that indeed specialists at different levels, plus I also support this horizontal movement that it develops people. If you can move from one unit to another one, and also inside a unit, if you can see that a person kind of exhausts himself, and then it would be great if you could find him something else to do. At the same time, we need to take into account that we also have very strong competition with outer environment. If we want to have top specialists here, we need to be able to offer also something to them. If you, Maria, mentioned your colleagues who are your back office, the important motivation is trust, that you trust them as experts in some questions, that they are being taken into account, that they are talked to, their opinions are valued, and this is also something that very much enhances the self-esteem of the person. Support staff are equal partners to academic staff, and they have good competence in some areas, be it intellectual property, being whatever. And this is something that needs to be acknowledged and respected. We need to respect the contribution and time of these people. So let's do it mutually. In order to have top-level research, we need to have top-level support. And this should run through the strategic text. And we have thought here that we use words like university family, so that we just not broadly refer to academic staff or support staff, so that to make support more visible. Next question, very good one as well. And that is to the rector. 1, 2, 3 signs that we are going to do next year in TalTech. Number 1, quality, quality, quality. And I have in mind that we have quality standards which we understand. We don't want to let the bar go lower. Entrepreneurial approach. How much money shall we? Yes, business-mindedness, intellectual property. We put the money tree to grow. And thirdly, that also answers partly how to motivate staff, organizational culture, where we sense that we are all equally colleagues and friends, and we support each other. And this also, of course, concerns support staff and their organizational structures. Next, what are our strengths internationally? Where are we moving with our image, and what are our differences? Then, perhaps. You said you got a place in Cambridge but didn't go there. Why did you decide to remain in Estonia? Well, yes, I think international picture, in this perspective, we are different in the sense that we are a place where there is a better contact with business. Our digital solutions in Estonia and also in the world, we are recognized, and Tallinn Technical University receives students because they find that this is the place, or this is one of the places where to study IT, also law, and in some areas We are already very good, and I think that we need to find this niche or differentiation even more. There was mention about our trademark. Our international partners have accepted and this TalTech trademark quite well. Hendrik Maria. Indeed, this internationalization, I would also mention Eurotech, European Universities measure, finances 40 consortia of universities, and Tallinn Technical University is one of them. And now financing has been given to this consortia for 3 years, and after 3 years, the best consortia, whether there will be 10 or 20, these will receive significant funding from the European Union to consolidate cooperation. So we need to really make an effort to have this cooperation work, and in terms of international image, this is one keyword, Eurotech, in the coming years, and hopefully also in the future. Maria, of course, my answer is the quality of research, and seriously, because when you take a look at why one or another university is known in the world, then first and foremost for its scientific results. If there is a news value that it exceeds the international news threshold, then this is the best way to improve our image. One more question, even though our time is over. User friendliness, centeredness. Is there anybody who can answer with a pitch? This means that the user's needs are necessary and they are taken into account when developing the service. 2 principles here. One is that one approach, if the student scientist has a problem, then he can approach, and he's not going to be sent to some other unit, but his problem is going to be dealt with immediately. And also this principle that you only have to ask once for data. 3 different departments are not going to ask for the person's financial, the number of publication, but the data moves from one department to the next one. Thank you very much. Our time is over. And thank you very much. Thank you all here, and thank you all who have participated in the drafting of the strategic document. And as said, the following dates have been settled, and I wish you all and wish us all wonderful Christmas, and in 10 years' time and in two weeks' time it's going to get lighter outside. We'll meet again, and thank you once again. Thank you.